All right, let's talk about AutoCAD. You know, that powerhouse piece of software that's behind basically everything, from massive skyscrapers to intricate spacecraft designs. Today, we're going to lay out a roadmap, a clear path that'll take you from feeling like a total novice to a legit pro.
So, the big question is, are you ready to jump in and really become an AutoCAD pro? I'm hoping that's a yes, because your entire journey, it all starts with getting that foundation rock solid.
Okay, let's kick things off. Section 1, your AutoCAD quest begins. You know, before you can really design like a pro, you've got to learn to think like one. So, what is AutoCAD really? Well, it's what we call a computer-aided design program, or CAD for short. And its superpower? It's all about precision, like mind-boggling, near-perfect precision. That's exactly why architects, engineers, you name it, they rely on it to make absolutely sure that buildings don't fall down and complex machines work exactly as they should. You know, the number one mistake I see beginners make, they just jump right in and start drawing. But hold on, before you even think about drawing a single line, you gotta set up your workspace. It's kind of like a chef getting all their ingredients prepped and their knives laid out. A little bit of organization right at the start is gonna save you a ton of headaches later on. Trust me. And here's the thing, your ideal workspace is going to be unique to you. The whole point is to customize your toolbars and palettes so the stuff you use all the time is just right there, no hunting around. You really want to get cozy with three main areas. The command line, we'll talk more about that, it's all about speed. The ribbon at the top with all its icons, and the status bar down at the bottom. Getting that layout down is going to make everything feel so much smoother.
All right, section 2, first steps for beginners. So your workspace is all set up and looking good. Now it's time to dig into a few of those core skills, the ones that really separate the amateurs from the pros. Now, this first one might sound a little weird. In a program that's all about visuals, your single most powerful tool is actually text-based. I'm talking about the command line. Yeah, it looks a little old school, but believe me, mastering it is the absolute fastest way to get that speed and precision you're looking for.
So why is it the heart of AutoCAD? It's simple. It's just faster. Think about it. Hunting for an icon with your mouse, clicking through menus, it's slow. But just typing L and hitting enter for a line, or C for a circle, that's instant. It's really the difference between scrolling through your phone to find a contact versus just telling your voice assistant to call them. You want to make using commands a reflex, a real habit.
Okay, next up is a concept that will literally save you from pure chaos, especially on big projects. Just imagine trying to edit a drawing where everything, the walls, the electrical wiring, the furniture, the dimensions, it's all just one big, tangled mess. The solution to that nightmare? It's called layers.
The best way to think about layers is like a stack of clear, transparent sheets. You draw the walls on one sheet, put all the furniture on another, and maybe the text and dimensions on a third. What this does is give you complete and total control. Want to see just the basic floor plan? Boom, you just turn off the furniture layer. It's the absolute key to keeping even the most massive, complicated projects clean, organized, and manageable. And for our last beginner tip, let's talk precision. Because in the world of design, close enough just doesn't cut it. Ever try to connect a line to the exact middle of another line just by eyeballing it? It's pretty much impossible. And that is precisely why you need to use object snaps. Object snaps, or OSNAPs as you'll hear them called, they're like having little magnets all over your drawing. They automatically snap your cursor to perfect, precise points, like the end point of a line, the dead center of a circle, or where two lines cross. Using OSNAPs means your designs are perfectly aligned every single time. And for any kind of professional work, that's completely non-negotiable. Okay, moving on to section 3, advanced tips for professionals. So you've got the basics down. Now let's talk about how we can really crank up your efficiency and get you flying through this software. One of the biggest leaps you can make as an AutoCAD user is the jump from 2D to 3D. Now, 2D drafting, creating those flat floor plans and schematics, that's always been the bread and butter of AutoCAD. But once you start digging into its 3D modeling tools, man, it opens up a whole new universe of possibilities for detailed models and stunning visualizations. So how do you really level up your workflow? It's all about working smarter, not harder. You've got to master advanced commands like array, offset, and fillet. These are the tools that stop you from drawing the same thing over and over again. Then you've got blocks. These are absolute game changers for reusable stuff like doors or windows. Draw it once, save it as a block, and use it forever.
And of course, customize your keyboard shortcuts for maximum speed. Oh, and one last thing, stay updated. AutoCAD is always adding new features that can save you a ton of time.
All right, Section 4, Overcoming Common Challenges. Look, everybody hits a wall at some point. It's just part of the process. So let's talk about a few of the most common roadblocks people face, and, more importantly, how you can blow right past them. Let's kick this off with a classic, one that everyone runs into eventually. You know the feeling. Your drawing file gets bigger and bigger, and suddenly your super fast computer is slowing down to a painful crawl. It's a super common problem, and thankfully the solutions are actually pretty simple. The number one pro tip here is to use what are called external references, or XREFs. So instead of, say, copying and pasting an entire building's floor plan into your main site drawing, you just link to that file. That keeps your main file size small and snappy. The other big one? You need to make the purge command your new best friend. It's a lifesaver. It goes through and just deletes all the digital junk and clutter, unused layers, old blocks, all the stuff that secretly bloats your file and slows things down. Okay, let's be real for a second. It is completely 100% normal to open up AutoCAD, look at all the buttons and menus and options, and just feel totally overwhelmed. That learning curve can feel like a vertical cliff sometimes. But here's the secret to navigating it. Don't try to swallow the ocean. Break it down into tiny, manageable steps. If you need to figure out how to add dimensions to a drawing, go find a quick 5-minute tutorial on just that. The key is consistency, not cramming. Seriously, practicing for just 15 minutes a day every day is going to get you so much further than trying to do a massive 4-hour session once a month. And one final challenge that has nothing to do with your skill and everything to do with your gear. To avoid that soul-crushing lag, you just gotta have a PC that can keep up. What does that mean? Well, you'll want a modern multi-core processor. For RAM, 8 GB is the absolute minimum, but honestly, you'll be happier with 16. And a dedicated graphics card isn't really optional, it's a must. The last thing you want is your own computer holding you back. Okay, on to our final section, number 5, your path to mastery. We've covered a lot of the what and the how. So what comes next? And, this quote here really just nails it. Mastery isn't some destination you arrive at one day. It's not a finish line. It's a continuous journey of practice and learning. The people who are truly great at AutoCAD, they're the ones who stay curious, who are always playing around with new features and asking, is there a better, smarter way to do this? And that, my friends, brings us to the end. You've officially got the map. We've gone from the very first steps all the way to advanced pro techniques. So now there's really only one question left to ask. What are you going to build first?